Alright guys, what's up? So today we're going through the process of adding a video call feature to applications using Flutter and ZEGOCLOUD. So ZEGOCLOUD is a very powerful real-time communication platform that simplifies adding features like video calls, live streaming, and voice chats to your application. So it does this with its ready-to-use UI kits. You can make your application in literally minutes. Okay, so it offers pre-built UI and handles heavy lifting so that you just focus on building your applications. So as we can see here, it helps us build faster and ship more with UI kits. So it's a very catchy introduction, by the way. So it gives us 20 plus UI kits and 50 components, as we can see, and it's open source. It's cross-platform, which means you can use it on multiple platforms. Let's go down here. So as we can see, less time consuming and it's more economical and it helps you focus on the core. Okay, so here, as we can see, it provides us UI kits, so you can download sample applications for Apple, Android, React JS or React Native, Flutter, and just JavaScript. So as we can see here, there's a sample code, and all you have to do is just sign up and they give you 10,000 minutes. And it's not like those other platforms that just annoy you with asking for credit cards upfront. Okay, so as we can see here, we can explore the multiple UI kits. You have a live audio room, video consultation, fitness, live shopping, one-on-one tutoring. So this is what we have. So we're going to use the pre-built UI kits to build a video call application. So let's get started from there. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so as you can see, it has a quick integration and free credits. You get about 10,000 free minutes. Okay, and yeah, it does offer platform compatibility. So all you have to do is come up here. Oh yeah, and one thing I forgot is they also have a chatbot. So you can actually ask this chatbot questions related to what you want to use it for. So it has drop down questions, example questions down here. So as you can see, so if I want to get developer resources for using the API, I can just do this. They need to provide the answer. So this is it. You can type the answer down here. Okay, so with that, let me sign up. Then give a can search for your country. Sorry about that. Then your work email. Okay, so firstly we have to provide the password. So the password is you have a regex, so you have to meet these requirements for the password. So and then at least one number. Okay, let me verify my password. Okay, so then we just have to tick these. Then we apply for a verification code. So let's wait for the verification code to be sent to my email. But before we do that, we have to solve this captcha. So it comes different with every time. So click on the object that you can see in the image example. Okay. So now let me check my email. All right, so which brings us to this page. So here we have to give a company name. We have to give a company name, company website, job title, industry, and the phone number. So company name, The company website, you can leave it blank, that's optional. But if you have a website, you can put it there. So I'm going to say engineer, then the industry, I'm going to say IT, then the number, I'm going to give my country code first. Okay. Then let's continue. Then it comes here, it tells you about the benefits of getting 10,000 minutes for the trial, free minutes trial. Then the free trial, advanced plan, and everything. So it gives you more details about what I was saying earlier. So now let's go to the dashboard. So this is the dashboard, as we can see. So it still has that chatbot if in case you want to get more information. So the free trial minutes, you see, as you can see, we haven't used any, and the balance overview is still 0. So let's create the first project. So as you can see, these are the projects that it offers, the products that it offers. This in-app chat, customized app, and all this. So for us, we want this. What we want is the voice and video call. So select that, then move to the next step. So here we're going to provide the application name or the project's name. So we're going to call it video call app. Then we're going to start with UI kits. Let's go there. So now let's wait for that to load up. Okay, so now let's start building our application. So here it's going to give you a selection of frameworks that you can select from. So as you can see, as we discussed, it's going to be Flutter. So here we're going to go and save and start integrating. So as you can see here, it brings you to this page, the obtain configuration page. So this is where you get the app ID and the app sign. So we have to fill these in the authentication of your application. So this is what we're going to use. So we'll copy the app ID and the app sign and use it in applications. And by no means should you share this with anyone. Okay, so we're going to go on quick start, which will redirect us to the documentation. Okay, so this is our documentation page. So, but before we do this, okay, let's wait for this to load. Okay, so we are going to have to take these steps for us to configure our application. So, but before we do that, let's create a new project in VS Code. So let's go there. So what I have is a blank folder that's in VS Code. So we're going to run this command, Flutter create. So since I want to create this project in the current folder, I'm just going to put a period at the end, or a full stop if you like. Then the app will start creating in here. This folder, you see everything being created down here. Okay, so that is done. Then we're going to go back to the documentation. So the first thing we're going to run is we're going to run this command so that we can have this dependency in our application. So we just come here and paste it. So we're going to add this Flutter, this Zego UIKit preview call in our application, this dependency. So when you go down here on line 38, here, this is where it's going to appear, because when you add the new package, it usually comes down after the Cappuccino icons. So let's try to run this. All right, so that is added, as you can see on line 38. So let's go to the next step. So the next step is we're going to use, we can go back to our admin console. Then we'll see the app ID and the app sign. I already have it open here, so we can just copy this. Going to copy the app ID and the app sign. Then we're going to create the folder called data. So we're going to create a folder called data. So here we'll say data. Then we'll call this data dot. Then we're going to create a class in here. So it's a class. And we'll call it called data. So say call ID. Then we give it this. Oh, sorry, I didn't copy this. So call ID. Then we go back here. Okay, it's copied now. Then the app sign. So the app sign is going to be of type string. Let's copy this. Then we just simply paste it in there. So we have the data. I've made the data file. So let's go back here. Then the next thing is we're going to create a page called, this is the core page. Okay, so this is the page that's going to have the video pop up. So we just copy this. Okay, what's the problem? Okay, so create a folder called screens. So in here, we're going to create the core page. Then we just simply paste this in here. Okay, so this is going to give an error at first because we have to import a few things. We have to import the material. Then we come here. Then we just copy this. So this usually gives an error. So I don't know. I can just do this. Okay, so let's just copy this, then clear the entire line. Then we just paste it here. So that solves the issue we're having. Then here we just have to import the core data. So I have to get the app ID and the app sign. So let's do this. So say core data. Then we import this. Okay, then core data dot core ID. Did I name it as core ID? Let me change this. Okay, so it's supposed to be app ID, not core ID. App ID. Then here we're going to do the same thing. Let's say core data dot app sign. Then that's all. Then we have to give the user ID and the username. So we have to generate this using the random function from the math library. So we're going to say final. Then we say user identity. Then we say random. Then we have to import this math library. So as you can see, it's right there. Then we say dot next int. Then we can give it a range of where it can pick a random number from, or random numbers from. So we can say 10,000, which is a very big number for us. So this is going to give an error. So we just have to simply clear this. Then that error is gone. Okay. So this is still giving an error. Okay, I don't know. Maybe my VS Code is just stripping. Okay. Okay, that is gone. So the next thing is, let's go down here. So we're going to configure application for Android. So there are two options. You can either configure it for Android or iOS. So for us, we're going to use Android. So the first thing we have to go inside the Android folder, then inside the app folder, then we find this file called build.gradle. Then we just copy this. So let's go in our project, just close the lib folder. So we go Android, then app folder, then this is that file that we're looking for. So we're simply just going to paste that code we're from copying down here, the dependencies. So it actually comes with this implementation for the Kotlin version. Okay, so let's close that. Now let's go back here. So the next is we're going to change the main SDK version. Then we're going to give it 21. So let's just copy that. So inside I think it should be inside the build.gradle inside the app. So let's go here. So this is the part on line 41. We just change that to 21. Then the next thing is inside the same build.gradle inside the app folder, we're going to change the compiled SDK version to 33. Okay, so let's go there. Let's do this. So we just maintain the spellings. So we just clear that on line 28, then just add 33. Okay, so let's go down here. So if it's created with Flutter 2xx, so if your project is created with the newer versions of Flutter, you have to change this to 33. So let's go down here. Then here we're going to add the build script. We're going to add the build script to build.gradle inside the Android. So let's just go inside so this build.gradle is different from the one that we're accessing inside the app. So go back to Android, then this build.gradle. Okay, so just simply add this down here. Okay, so next step, we modify the wrapper properties. So let's copy this line, then we have to navigate to the Android, then the Gradle file folder, in the wrapper, then wrapper.properties. So let's go there. So inside the Gradle folder, then wrapper, then this folder. So we're going to simply paste it here. Okay, we change that line, then we go down here, we modify the permissions. So the permissions is found inside the app folder, then inside the source, then inside the main. Okay, so let's copy the permissions. So these permissions will allow us to access the internet, the Wi-Fi state, the access, the network state, the Bluetooth, record audio, modify audio settings, as you can see, the camera, wet lock, and vibrate. And it also access the notification policies, the post notifications, and the system alert window. So let's just copy this. For the permissions, then let's close this. So let's go back inside the app folder, then inside the source, then inside the main. Then you find the Android manifest. So we're going to put it inside the manifest, but outside the application. This is the application I'm talking about. So let's paste here, as you can see. So yeah, it's inside the manifest, but outside the application. So let's go for the next step. So we're going to create this going to prevent this. So let's create a file. Let's get this file, copy it. Then we're going to make this file inside the Android, inside the app folder. So let's close this. So let's just go inside the app folder. Then we create a file. Then we paste the name there. Then inside this file, we're going to paste this. No. We're going to paste this inside this ProGuard rules folder file. So we paste this there. Then just close this so that we can be able to see where we're going next. Okay, so next we're going inside the Android, then inside the app folder, then the build.gradle. So we're going inside the build.gradle, that's inside the app folder. Okay, let's go back to that folder. So let's go back here. So let's do this up, then close the source. Let's go up. Then the build.gradle, that's inside the app. So let me close this as well. Okay. So what is it saying? It's saying we add this line to the build types. So let's go back there. Oh, okay, inside the app. So here. So inside the build types, we'll go down here. This is where we're going to paste this. Okay, paste this right there. Then the next step is we're going to run and test. So the setup is finished. So as I said, the setup is very easy. So now let's see if this works. So let's go here. And I don't know if you're using an emulator or your real device, but you just have to come down here and select it. So I'm going to use an emulator. So let me start my emulator. Okay, let me ignore that. The emulator started. So now let's try to run and see if our application is going to run. So let's do this. Okay, run and debug. So the shortcut for running is F5 in VS Code. So let's wait for that to build up. Okay, so as you can see, the application is running. So let's close this. Then we'll go inside this folder called screens. Then inside the screens, we're going to have a file called home screen. Screen.dat. Then this is also going to be a stateless widget. Okay, so it's going to be a stateless widget. Then call it home screen. Then we're just going to have a scaffold here. Then an up bar. Then we give it a white color. So right now, let's just ignore this. We remove that blue squiggle for the entire file. Then we give it a background color. Okay. Then let's go inside the main.dat. Then let us just clear everything going down here. So we clear that. Then let's just import the home screen. Okay, so now let's try to hot reload. Okay, so that's what we have. Now let's go inside the home screen. Let's try to center this text. We wrap it in a center widget. All right, so next we're going to create a folder and call it components. So the first component is going to be a text field. So say text box, which is also going to be a stateless widget. Okay, then the next one is going to be a button. It's quite button comp like that. Then it's also going to be a stateless widget. Okay, so this is what we have. So we're going to start with the button. Then the first thing we're going to have is a function. So it's a function. Sorry about that. Then we call it on top. Then also have we're going to have a string and call it text. Then we can just require this in here. So required this the text. Okay, so the entire thing is going to be wrapped inside the gesture detector. So simply just say gesture detector. Then here we're going to have an on tap. So we use the same on tap there. Then it's going to have a child, which is going to be a container. So inside this container, we're going to have box decoration. So say decoration. Sorry about that. Let me just ignore this as well inside here. Let's give it a border radius. We'll say border radius to circular, then we give it 7. Okay. Then let's give it a color. Then, okay, sorry about that. We're going to have a child, which is going to get this text. So we'll say text. Then we style it. Okay, so we're done with the button component. So now let's go for the text box. So here we're going to have a text editing controller. Then we just name it controller. Then we require it here as well, inside the constructor. So let's just remove this to get cleared of that error. So here we're just going to return a text field. Okay, there's a typo. Then we ignore the squiggle. Then we say controller. Then we give it the controller. So next we give it some decoration. Say input decoration. Then we just say border. Okay, so that is done. Okay, so go inside the home screen. Then here we're going to have a body. Inside the body, we're going to have a column. Then the children. Then let's just ignore this. So first we're going to have a text field. Let's plan this. We're going to have a text field. No, we're going to have text, some text. Then a text field. Then a button. So the text field here is going to be so text. I'm going to give this user instructions. So say enter the code to start the call. So we can give them an example of like 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we do this? Then let's import the text box. Let's import the text box. So we do this. Then this is going to throw an error because it has a requirement. So where is it? This one. So has it been imported on top here? No, it doesn't. Okay, so let's try to import that. Okay, components, then text box. Okay, we add the requirement. So now let's create the text editing controller. So we go here, so text. Say controller. Then we say equals. Okay, so let's just try to remove this. Then we come here. Then we simply just say controller. So let's see what we have now. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So let's go here in the column and put the main axis alignment. There is the center. And let's see what we have. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Then here, I think on the text box, let's wrap this inside a padding. Okay, so give it a padding of only. Then we say let's give it left and right. Let's give it 8.0 as well. Okay, let's see how it's showing. Not bad, but I would prefer if it had more. Let's give it 12. Then while that is loading, let's give this a sized box. So say height, then we give it a height of 10. Okay, so the border radius on the sides is, the padding on the size is all right. Okay. Let's see the space. So we just copy this sized box and put it under here. Well, we are going to have a button. Then let's now get the button component. Okay, so let's go here. Say button. Let's import the button comp. Let's try to get that. Okay, no suggestions. Okay, so on top, we're going to put an empty function. Then here, we're going to say, going to give it a text. That's going to say, no, we don't have to give it this. We already have the text there. So we say start call, or we can say start meeting, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we go here. Then inside here, we're going to have a navigator. So when the button is pressed or tapped, it's going to navigate the user to the core screen. So it's a navigator .of. Then we have a material page route. Then inside here, we're going to have the context. Sorry about that. We call the core page. Okay, so this is going to require an ID, so we just say controller. So the ID, we're actually going to get this from the user input. Then we just give a semicolon down here. So let's see what we have. Let's try to reload this. Okay, this is what we have, which is so ugly. Let's go back to the button. As you can see, the button is not looking so well. So let's go here. Let's give it a padding. We'll give it a padding on all sides. Then we say 20. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so that's what we have. Now let's try to wrap this inside the padding as well, so that we make the button a bit wider. So we'll say only, we give it left and right. Say left, we give it 18, right 18 as well. Okay, so that looks much better. So next thing is, let's try to test this up. So since we have this right here, let's try to enter any code. Let's try to start the phone call rather. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Then let's try to start this. Okay, there we go. The phone call started. Then this allow the permissions. Okay, another. Okay, so it starts. All right, there we go, guys. Just wait for everything to load up. So let's try that again. Let's try starting the call. 4. Then we start. Okay. So this is going to give us an error. So let's go back to the call page. And as you can see, we have not provided the user ID and the username. So let's do that. Let's so we're going to use the user identity here. So we say user identity. Then we convert it to string because it expects the string down there. String. Then here we're simply just going to use the same user ID. So we say ID. Then we say user identity. Okay, so let's try to restart that. Let's go back to the home screen. Okay, let's go back here. So it was giving us that error, this error, because we haven't provided the call ID, the user ID, I mean. So let's do that. So if you encountered that error as well, you have to uninstall the application that you're currently running. Then you just do Flutter clean. Then you do Flutter propagate again so that you get all the dependencies again. Then you try to run it again. So with that way, it will start and all those errors will be gone. So that was the only issue that we had, was we forgot to put the identity, and yeah, just the user identity right there. So yeah, from there we're smooth to can run the application. So let's see what we have next. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So the ID, we have the ID of 412 down there. Then if we click on the screen, we have the 5 buttons here. We can stop the video and just have this. Then we can do this. We can bring back the video. So if you're using an emulator, it's going to show some weird colors on the screen. As you can see, it will show a bunch of yellows, green, brown, and a bit of gray. So as you can see, my emulator is a bit slow, but you see the buttons down there, and it has an ID at the bottom right. So you can see it has the 5 buttons: the video call, the rotate, camera, and the button to turn off the call, and also the mute. So this is what we had, and all we had to do was follow the simple configuration steps on the Zego Cloud platform. So this is actually a platform as a service that Zego Cloud provides, and it's so easy to use. And I wouldn't think of any ways where you wouldn't use this, because the other types of these companies just ask for your credit card upfront, and which is, some of us it's not easy. So, with this said, I think I'll see you in the next video. So, I hope you learned something, and I hope you can make this on your own. If you get stuck, you can ask me questions in the comment section. So, see you in the next video, guys.